ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan, ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
For something big.
Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWDR-FM. Physics, Chemistry, Earth Science, Biology, Biochemistry, Environmental Science. These are some branches of science. Science is about a whole lot more than that. And to sum it up, we believe that science is the way of helping the brain grow in finding new knowledge and help us defeat our curiosity and how the world develops and works today. Science. This is your class, and this is science. And now, here is your host for the day.
Hello! Happy Monday morning to all our dear listeners and viewers in our station 106.3 Dance Radio and in our Facebook page. How are you, our dear grade 8 learners? Okay, special mention of course to my 8 Copernicus, 8 Aristotle, and 8 Socrates. So I'm your science teacher, Ma'am Erlinda S. Ramos.
Yan. So, good morning to everyone. Ma'am Lynn, good morning. And
Morning.
to all our listeners and viewers via FB Live. So, welcome to another episode of Scientific Time. We are now on the second week of third quarter. So, I want also to greet my 8 Ivory and 8 Beige. I hope you are all listening.
Yes, so good morning sa ating lahat. Happy Monday. It's another week. So we are now on the second week, sabi nga ni Ma'am Rio. So greetings also to my 8 maroon, 8 purple, and 8 lavender. And also sa mga students ni Sir Ryan Colcol, ang 8 burgundy. At sa mga students din ni Ma'am Mirna Galingana. Hello everyone!
Okay, so magandang umaga sa ating lahat, especially sa ating mga learners. And I would like also to greet my 8 Crimson and 8 Cyan. Welcome to another RBI and live streaming of Science 8. So what are we waiting for? Let us now listen to the radio-based instruction. Enjoy listening mga anak.
Dance Radio, silid-aralan sa radyo, atid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta na magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Physics, Chemistry, Earth Science, Biology, Biochemistry, Environmental Science. These are some branches of science. Science is about a whole lot more than that. And to sum it up, we believe that science is a way of helping the brain grow in finding new knowledge and help us defeat our curiosity of how the world develops and works today. Science. This is your class, and this is science. And now, here is your host for the day.
Good day, my dear grade 8 learners. You are listening to our School on the Air program, serving you the different skills to learn, filled with fun learning experiences. I am your enthusiastic School on the Air host, Teacher Rufino Arpamede Jr. You are listening to our School on the Air, DWDR-FM 106.3 Dance Radio, where learning is amazing. Are you ready for today's lesson, grade 8?
Sir, yes, sir!
If you have concerns later in relation to our topic, feel free to text, call, or email your science teacher. This time, I turn you over to our radio teacher in science.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Teacher Riofei Magaway, your radio teacher in science. The weather is fine. It's perfect for learning. I am thankful that despite the pandemic affecting our lives, you are still willing to learn new things. Before we start, may I ask you, have you eaten?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a good thing if you did already. Then you are now attentive and ready to learn. Make sure that you are in a comfortable place and far from noise or any disturbance so you can hear me loud and clear. At this point, don't forget to open your learning activity sheet in Science 8, Week 2. Before we start, be sure you have your pen, paper, and notebook with you. Let's have a short review. What are the phases of matter?
Solid, liquid, gas, and plasma, ma'am.
Correct! How can you describe the properties of solid?
Solids have definite shape and volume, and they are tightly packed together, ma'am.
Definitely! How about liquid?
Liquids have a definite volume, take the shape of their container, and energy level is greater than in solids, ma'am.
That's right! Now, can you describe the properties of gas?
Gases do not have definite volume or shape, and it spreads out to fill the entire space given, ma'am.
Very good! It seems that you really understood the topic for week 1. We can now proceed to our lesson for the week. So please open your learning activity sheet and let's have a quick walkthrough. Make sure that the title of the learning activity sheet you are holding is Phase Changes of Matter. To be guided in using this learning activity sheet, you should do the following. First, read and follow the directions in the activities carefully. Second, take time in reading the lessons. Lastly, answer all the given activities honestly. Today's lesson is about the phase changes of matter. After going through this module, you are expected to explain physical changes in terms of the arrangement and motion of atoms and molecules. What happens to your ice cream if you delay eating it?
It melts, ma'am.
Have you seen a liquid water freezes into ice cubes?
Yes, ma'am, when it is placed inside the freezer, ma'am.
Have you noticed what happens to water as it boils?
It evaporates.
What do you call these changes?
They undergo physical change, ma'am.
That's right! They are all examples of phase changes of states of matter. Today, we are going to learn more about the physical changes in terms of the arrangement and motion of atoms and molecules. Are you ready, learners?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let's first define physical change to help you understand this topic well. Physical change is a type of change in which the form of matter is altered but is not transformed into another. The size or shape of matter may be changed, but no chemical reaction occurs. Substances are capable of changing their physical phases when the conditions are altered. One of the conditions that makes the substances transform from one phase to another is the change in temperature. Physical changes of matter are freezing, melting, evaporation, condensation, deposition, and sublimation. Melting, evaporation, condensation, deposition, and sublimation. In order to understand this better, we are going to discuss it one by one. Are you ready, learners?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's start. Let's take a look first with the phase change freezing. What will happen when you place water on the fridge for a long time?
It will turn into ice or it freezes, ma'am.
That's right! What happened to the liquid state of matter?
It turned into solid.
Very good! Therefore, freezing is a phase change from liquid to solid. Freezing is a phase change from liquid to solid. What did you notice about its molecules?
Molecules is slowed down, move closer together, and release heat energy, ma'am.
Precisely! What else are examples of freezing or solidification?
Ma'am, the formation of snow, solidification of melted candle wax, and lava hardening are some examples of this phase change.
Very good! What will happen if you remove the ice cubes in the fridge and place it on top of your table?
It is going to melt, ma'am.
Correct! What is melting? What are some examples of melting?
Ice melting into water, ma'am.
Very good! What else?
Solid water is melting into liquid and heating rocks up so much that they become magma or lava.
Correct! Can you now differentiate freezing and melting? Remember that substances freeze at exactly the same temperature as they melt.
Ma'am, melting is a physical process that results in the phase transformation of a substance from a solid to a liquid. This occurs when the internal energy of the solid increases, typically by the application of heat or pressure, which increases the substance temperature to the melting point, ma'am.
Ma'am, freezing is the change that occurs when a liquid changes into solid as the temperature decreases, while melting is the opposite change from a solid to a liquid as the temperature increases.
Correct!
Ikaw ba ay batang magtatapos ng elementarya ngayong taong panuruan 2020-2021?
O di kaya'y batang nagnanais lumipat o bumalik sa pag-aaral sa ating paaralan?
Simula sa ika-26 ng Marso hanggang ika-30 ng Abril
ay magsasagawa ang Doña Aurora National High School ng pagpapatala
o early registration para sa taong panuruan 2021-2022.
Bisitahin ang Facebook page ng Doña Aurora National High School
at i-click ang link upang makapagtala sa takdang araw.
Para sa mga hindi makapag-access online, huwag mag-alala, i-aanunsyo sa ating istasyong 106.3 FM
Dance Radio ang iba pang impormasyon
hinggil sa ating early registration.
Mag-register na! Maging parte ng Amazing Dance Family!
Isang impormasyon mula sa pamunuan ng Doña Aurora National High School at ng himpilang ito.
Are you still there, my dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think happens to water when it continues to boil?
It turns into gas, ma'am.
That's right! That phase change is evaporation. Evaporation is the process by which an element or compound changes from its liquid state to its gaseous state below the temperature at which it boils. Another example of evaporation is drying of clothes under the sun. Water is removed from the clothes as water droplets get evaporated due to heat of the sun. Can you give another example?
Ma'am, drying up of water bodies like lakes and ponds in our surroundings. In hot summer months, water gets evaporated and gets refilled only after it rains.
Very good! How about condensation? Have you noticed that when you buy canned bottled cold soda on a hot day, the can sweats? This is an example of condensation. What is condensation? Condensation is the change of the physical state of matter from the gas phase into the liquid phase, and it is the reverse of vaporization. The best example is being those big, fluffy clouds floating over your head, and when the water droplets in clouds combine, they become heavy enough to form raindrops to rain down onto your head. Can you give more example, my dear learners?
The morning dew on the grass, the fog in the air, and the moisture beads on car windows, ma'am.
Very good answer. Now, let's differentiate evaporation and condensation. Evaporation is the conversion of a liquid to its vapor below the boiling temperature of the liquid. If the water is kept in a closed container, the water vapor molecules do not have a chance to escape into the surroundings, and so the water level does not change. As some water molecules become vapor. An equal number of water vapor molecules condense back into the liquid state. Condensation is the change of state from a gas to a liquid.
Nako, malapit na ang pasahan ng outputs.
Retrieval time na naman. Narito ang mga dapat mong tandaan sa pagbasa ng outputs mo, kadonyan.
Tiyaking nakasulat ang iyong pangalan sa bawat subject na iyong ipapasa. Oops! Huwag ding kalimutang isulat ang iyong section kung saan ka kabilang.
Mahalagang lagyan din ng label na week 1, week 2, 3, o 4 ang inyong outputs kung anong aralin at bilang nito upang malaman ng guro kung kompleto ang inyong ipinasang outputs sa bawat linggo.
Kadonyan, kung maaari, isulat din ang pangalan ng iyong guro sa bawat subject. Kung may color coding, sundan ito upang madaling malaman ng inyong advisor at maibigay sa tamang guro.
Paghiwalayin ang sagutang papel sa bawat subject. Huwag paghaluin ang iyong mga sagot sa dalawang subject sa iisang papel.
Ayusin ang outputs batay sa mga sumusunod. Una, sagot ng mga gawain. Pangalawa, refleksyon.
Huwag ring kalimutan ang validating questions at summative test kung mayroon. Kung masusunod mo ang mga ito, tiyak ang mga guro ay hindi malilito. Sa pagpasa ng mga outputs, tiyaking maayos at organisado.
Isang paalala mula sa pamunuan ng Tonya Ororo National High School at ng istasyong ito.
Let's continue, dear learners. Let's discuss sublimation and deposition. Did you know that when dry ice gets exposed to air, dry ice directly changes its phase from solid state to gaseous state, which is visible as fog. Frozen carbon dioxide in its gaseous state is more stable than in its solid state. This phenomenon is called sublimation. Sublimation. What is sublimation?
Sublimation is the transition of a substance directly from the solid to the gaseous state without passing through the liquid state, ma'am.
Precisely. Another example of sublimation is solid air fresheners. The ones typically used in restrooms are known to be sublime in nature. Mothballs made of naphthalene are used to drive away moths and some other insects. These also sublime over time. How about deposition?
Ma'am, deposition is the phase transition in which gas transforms into solid without passing the liquid phase.
Correct. Deposition is a thermodynamic process. The reverse of deposition is sublimation, and hence, sometimes deposition is called the sublimation. Can you give an example of deposition?
Frost, ma'am. Frost is the deposition of water vapor from humid air or air containing water vapor into a solid surface, ma'am.
Very good. Solid frost is formed when a surface, for example a leaf, is at a temperature lower than the freezing point of water and the surrounding air is humid. Are you still there, my dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Here are the points that we must remember today.
Ma'am, during a physical change, the form of matter may change, but not its identity. The arrangement of the particles may change, but the mass, number of atoms, and number of molecules stay the same.
Furthermore, physical change involves a small change in energy and are easily reversible.
That's right. Freezing is the change that occurs when a liquid changes into a solid as the temperature decreases, while melting is the opposite change, from a solid to a liquid as the temperature increases. In evaporation, matter changes from a liquid to a gas, while in condensation, matter changes from a gas to a liquid. On the other hand, some substances have its transition from a solid to a gas and skip the liquid phase entirely at standard conditions. This change from a solid to a gas is called sublimation. The reverse process of a gas going to a solid is known as deposition. We're done with the lesson. You are now ready to answer the activities on your learning activity sheet. Open your learning activity sheet on page 4 and let's answer activity 3 titled Phase Matter. As you can see, there is a diagram showing the particles of solid, liquid, and gas. Each arrow, A, B, C, D, E, and F, represents a change in phase. Let's analyze the phase changes and the temperature conditions as matter changes from one phase to another. First, what phase change occurs in A, that is, from gas directly to solid?
Freezing?
Correct. Second, what phase change occurs in B, that is solid directly to gas?
Melting, evaporation, condensation, sublimation, and deposition, ma'am.
Very good. Third question, what phase change occurs in C?
Deposition.
That's right. Fourth, what about the phase change that occurs in D?
Sublimation.
Precisely. Fifth, what phase change occurs in E?
Melting because it undergoes solid to liquid phase.
Correct. For the last number, what phase change occurs in F?
It is evaporation because it is from liquid to gas state.
Very good. Good job, learners. You really learned a lot today. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Back to our host, Teacher Rufino Pomeda.
Thank you, Teacher Rio. All right, I'm back. I am your radio host, Teacher Rufino Pomeda Jr. How is your learning today, our dear learners? I hope your learnings today can make a significant difference in your point of view about the phase changes of matter. Just a reminder, if you have concern about our topic, text, call, or email your science teacher. I would like to acknowledge the teachers behind this School on the Air lesson. Teacher Rio Faye B. Magaway, your radio teacher on the air. Teacher Rosel G. Santiago, the script writer. Teacher Prince C. Bugawisan, our technical specialist. I am Teacher Rufino Pomeda Jr., your host, saying thank you very much. Stay tuned for the next subject.
Physics, chemistry, earth science, biology, biochemistry, environmental science. These are some branches of science. Science is about a whole lot more than that. And to sum it up, we believe that science is a way of helping the brain grow in finding new knowledge and help us defeat our curiosity of how the world develops and works today. Science, science, science. This is your class, and this is science.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Okay, so we're back. So ayan na yung napakinggan, our dear learners, ang ating RBI lesson in Science 8, Quarter 3, Week 2. So that is all about the phase changes.
Okay, so welcome to another live streaming of Science 8. To our students, sit back, relax, and learn because today we will learning more about the phase changes of matter.
Yes, that is right, sir. So to our learners, please comment down your section with our official hashtag for today, #change. Ayan, so everything changes. There is nothing permanent except change. Kaya #change tayo ngayon.
Okay.
Wow, what a nice hashtag, Ma'am Rosel. #change. Now, before we start, let us read first our learning competency for today's topic. So at the end of our live discussion, you learners should be able to explain physical changes in terms of the arrangement and motions of atoms and molecules.
Okay, so yes, Ma'am Rio. So ayan ang yung mga learners natin. Nagko-comment ng #change. So it means ready na sila. Okay, so before we start, let us have a review. So kung ano yung na-discuss natin last week. Okay? So, ano ba yung mga napag-aralan natin last week, Ma'am Rio?
Okay, Ma'am Lynn. So, we or our learners learned about the physical properties of matter last week. So, these are the mass, volume, density, length, color, elasticity, pressure, and also luster.
Okay, so precisely, Ma'am Rio. Okay, so I think na-discuss din natin nun about the three states of matter. So, what are the three states of matter again, Sir Hector?
Yes, ma'am. We also discussed the three common states of matter, and these are solid, liquid, and gas.
Okay, so yan yung mga topic natin, ma'am, during the first week of this third quarter. So this time, let us start our lesson for this week, second week of third quarter, which is the phase changes of matter. So kapag sinabi nating phase changes of matter, it will undergo physical change. At kapag sinabing physical change, it is a type of change in which the form of matter is altered. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng altered?
Napapalitan.
Yes.
Nagbabago.
Yes, exactly, Sir Hector. Napapalitan.
Or in Ilocano, that is, ano ba yung napalitan in Ilocano? Nasukatan.
Agbaliw.
Agbaliw. Yun
Yes,
siguro yung,
agbaliw.
yung magandang term. Pero, it is not transformed into another. So, napapalitan lang yung kanyang physical form. So, sabi dito, size and shape may change, but no chemical reaction occurs. So, that is what we call physical change.
Okay, yes, Ma'am Rosel. So, only the size and shape ang napapalitan. Okay, so we have there sa screen natin, we have an example of a physical change. So, we have there woods. Okay? So, if you're going to chunk woods, so still wood pa rin yan. Nagbago ba yung wood? Nagbago, but only the size and shape. But the composition, kahit yung pinakamaliit na ganyang pirasong wood, kung ano yung composition ng ganyang kalaking wood, the same. Hindi
Wood pa rin
nagbago.
siya.
Yes, wood pa rin. Only the size and shape. But, if we're going to burn the wood, so after masunog yan, wood pa rin ba ang makikita natin? No. Magiging ash. So ngayon, yung bang composition ng ash or yung properties ng ash, the same ba sa wood?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So therefore, hindi yan physical change. That is chemical change. So this time, dun lang tayo magfo-focus sa physical change. Di ba, ma'am, sir?
Tama po.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, well said, ma'am. So today we will focus on the physical changes or phase changes of matter, Ma'am Rio.
Okay, let's give a preview to our learners. Pero before that, shout out sa ating 58,000 viewers via FB Live.
Parang kukunti pa rin yan. Parang natutulog pa ang ating mga learners.
Oy, gising-gising. Naging
Malamig
60.
kasi ngayon, ma'am? Gising na, learners.
Ayan. So, let's have a short preview. When temperature changes, diba, matter can undergo a phase change, shifting from one form to another. So, there are 6 phase changes of matter: freezing and melting, evaporation and condensation, and sublimation and deposition. So this time, let's have Ma'am Rosel and Sir Hector to discuss with us about phase changes, freezing, and melting.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So, ayan, unahin natin, sir, yung freezing and melting. So, we will discuss this. So, let's discuss these phases of phase changes through pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
So, we have here a picture of bottled water. So, Sir Hector, or sa ating mga learners, pwede kayong mag-comment lang dyan, ano? So, anong phase of matter yung water?
So, based from that picture, ma'am, water is of course liquid.
Yes, correct. So, ang basic naman yan. So,
mas mahirap yan,
ayan, syempre, let's start to basic, di ba? So, correct yun. So, when we put that water into the freezer, ayan, so ang ganda ng ref. So, ilalagay natin siya. Siguro magdamag, no? So, what do you think will happen? Will it still, liquid pa rin ba siya, sir?
Ay, hindi na, ma'am. It will now turn into solid state, and that is a perfect example of freezing. Freezing is a phase change from liquid to solid. Molecules slow down, move closer together, and release heat energy.
Yeah.
So, titigas na siya. Maninigas para bang...
Yes, saka magiging solid. Pero still, water pa rin yan.
Yes,
That
kasi
is
physical
that is
change.
water in solid state.
Yes.
Okay, so tignan natin, Sir Ryan, ang ating technical specialist for today. Para maintindihan yan ng ating mga learners, we have here a simulation. Okay, sabi kasi kanina ni Sir Hector, molecules will slow down and move closer together, di ba, sir?
Kasi nga, nagiging ganun ang behavior ng mga molecules kasi nawawalan sila ng energy.
Yes, nagre-release sila ng energy. So, itry natin yung water molecule. So, let's say, ano siya? I-heat mo muna, sir. Para, ayan.
Yung scenario natin kanina, sir, ang temperature nun is katamtaman lang.
O, kunwari,
And then, nag-apply tayo ng freezing. So, ikukul mo. Then, let us observe the movements of the molecules.
So,
kung ano mangyayari.
yes, so nung liquid state, ganyan yung movement ng molecules. Ngayon, nung nilagay natin siya sa ref, i-cool down natin, Sir Ryan.
Ibaba pa.
Yan.
Ayan.
Observe yung kanyang movement. Yung movement ng molecules.
Yung mga molecules natin kanina, tingnan natin.
Ano yung na-observe mo, Sir Hector, sa kanyang movement?
Na-cool down na ba yan, ma'am?
More pa,
Napu-cool
more.
down. Ayan.
Kasi malamig yung...
Ayan.
Ayan.
So, okay, if we will going to compare the arrangement of the water molecules kanina, yung mga molecules na nakikita natin kanina, if you have noticed, na magkakalayo sila and they are moving away from each other.
Yes.
So, nagbabibrate yung iba napupunta-punta kung saan, in all directions. And then, nung nag-cool down, nagkaroon ng, nung linagay natin sa freezer, ang nangyari, yung movement ng mga molecules is slowed down.
Yes, sir. Kasi nga, yung kanilang energy ay na-release, di ba? So, yung mga particles, they are getting closer together.
Oo. And then, tignan mo, ma'am, yung arrangement niya kanina.
Random yung arrangement niya. Mas random kaninang nasa
Pagkatapos,
liquid.
parang nakabuo sila ng crystalline shape
Yes.
na arrangement.
Nung nag-turn na siya sa
Into
solid phase.
O yan o, tignan mo. Hindi sila yung talagang magkakadikit-dikit, kundi nagkakaroon sila ng crystalline shape na formation. So, yan yung isa sa mga behavior ng mga molecules ng water pag linalagay sila sa malalamig na lugar, pag nag-freeze sila.
Yes, sir.
Yes, parang yan nakita ko yung kasang molecules nagdidikit pag malamig. Parang tayo din, di ba ganito malamig, ang lamig ngayon dito, gusto kong dumikit kay Ma'am Rio. Yan. Pero pag mainit naman, di ba gusto nating layo-layo? So yung mga particles na yan, yung mga parang tayo din, ano? Kapag mainit or malamig.
Yes.
Pag mainit, layo-layo ma'am, ano?
Yes, kasi layo ka nga, ang init-init, wag kang lumapit. Pero kapag malamig, gustong-gusto mong nakadikit sa'yo. Di ba, Ma'am Rio?
Yes, Ma'am Lynn, tama yan.
Okay, so that is freezing. So don't forget, learners, na kapag freezing, ang nangyayari ay nare-release yung heat energy, and then the molecules will move getting closer together, tapos nag-i-slow down yung kanilang movement hanggang sa maka-form nga sila ng sinasabi ni Sir Hector na crystalline solid.
Okay, precisely ma'am. That is how matter behaves as it undergo freezing. Can you give me more example, Ma'am Rio? Ay, Ma'am Rosel?
Okay, yes, sir. So we have here another example. Para hindi naman sabihin ng ating mga learners na nag-e-exist lang siya sa malalamig. Okay, so we have here solidification of melted wax or melted candle wax. So that is another example of solidification. 'Di ba kapag pumapatak yan, tas tumitigas din after some time.
Siya
yan,
pag lumamig na.
Yes.
Kasi ang nangyayari dyan naman sa example natin dyan, Ma'am Rosel, di ba solid state yan, yung kandila?
Yes, sir.
Pag sinindihan natin yan, yung mga molecules ng solid net makaka-receive ng energy.
Oo.
And then anong mangyayari doon sa mga molecules na yan pag naka-receive sila ng energy? They move away
Farther,
from each
yes.
other.
Yes.
So, in that case, pag nag-move sila away from each other due to the energy received by those
Absorbed,
molecules,
yes.
ang mangyayari ay magkakaroon ng expansion. Lalambot ngayon yan, manlulusong ngayon, mag-flow-flow ngayon yan. And then, kapag yung na-receive nilang energy na yun ay na-release ulit, magsasolidify ulit sila.
Yes, sir.
Yun
So,
yung nangyayari sa mga molecules.
ayan. So, tamang-tama yung next na phase change ay yun na yung i-discuss naman natin, sir. Okay, so how about melting? So, again, let's discuss this phase change through a picture. So, we have here picture of, ayan, wow, ice cream. So, syempre, pag hindi mo yan kinain, Sir Hector, hindi mo ba yan kakainin agad?
Ay, hindi. Hindi magtatagal yan sa akin.
So, halimbawa, no, hindi mo kinain
Hindi na masarap pag hindi na siya
So, what do you think will happen?
Ay, pag hindi mo kinain kaagad yan, ma'am, mag-melt yan. Ganyan ang magiging itsura. Sayang.
Hindi mo na ma-enjoy yan.
Oo, hindi na masarap pag ganyan, di ba, ma'am?
Of course, it will now turn to what phase, sir?
So, from solid, nagiging liquid na siya.
Yes, so precisely, and that is now how we define melting. Okay, don't forget, learners, ito yung definition ng melting. So, when we say melting, it is a physical process that results in the phase transformation of a substance from solid to a liquid state. So, kabaliktaran, exact opposite of freezing or solidification. So, this occurs when the internal energy of the solid increases naman.
Oo. So, dito natin makikita, Ma'am Rosel, na napakalaking role ng temperature.
Yes, sir. Sa phase changes.
Oo, sa phase changes, napakalaki. Kapag lalamig, ang magiging resulta, solidify yung object.
Ibig sabihin, nag-drop yung kanyang temperature, nag-release.
Kapag mag-i-increase naman yung kanyang temperature, ano usually yung nangyayari, ma'am?
Of course, sir, yung mga particles is nagmo-move farther away.
So, from solid, magiging
Liquid.
So, yun yung role ng temperature sa phase changes of matter.
Okay, tignan naman natin ngayon, sir, sa ating simulation. So, baliktarin lang natin. For example, ito yung ice cream. Ilagay natin siya, Sir Ryan, sa water molecule.
Yung na-melt na.
Oh. Yan yung ice cream. Solid pa lang siya. Kalalabas sa freezer. Okay, ngayon, hindi mo siya kinain agad. So, observe the movement of the particles, learners, kapag nasa solid state pa lang siya. Hindi mo kinain, so nag-gain siya ng energy. Ayan. Paki-heat. Yes, heat. Okay, so anong nangyayari sa movement, Sir Hector?
Okay, so nung nag-gain siya ng heat, ano nangyari? Mas lalong bumilis. They move away from each other. Ano, lumalampas-lampas na nga yung iba, di ba?
Kaya kung napansin nyo, yung parang may shape yung ice cream kanina sa solid state. Tapos nung nag-melt na siya, parang kalat na siya. So, ganyan yung nangyayari.
Kasi naka-receive sila ng energy coming from the heat. Kaya parang sa bata din, kapag full of energy yung bata, ano yung behavior ng bata? Di ba? Likot-likot.
Ang likot-likot.
Ganon.
Super, ano sila?
Yung
Super
apo mo ba?
kulit. Yes. Walang moment na istambay sa isang lugar. Yung sulok nung 4 na corner ng kwarto, talagang napupuntahan.
Sir Hector, is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
possible to refreeze melted ice cream?
Pardon ma'am, hindi ko gaano maintindihan.
O, di ba yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, yung reversible siya, no?
Oo, yes,
Oo,
ma'am.
ang melting at saka freezing.
Oo, yes.
Now, is it possible to refreeze melted ice cream?
Yes, ma'am.
Pwede, ano, sir?
Pwede.
Doon, basta sa freezer.
Oo.
Pero
There is a
doon,
way.
depende sa kind ng freezer. Kasi yung sa ref ko ngayon, yung pinaka-freezer niya, bumili ako ng ice cream nga, pero nung binalik ko, hindi siya totaling nag-solid. Kaya depende doon sa kind of
Yes,
freezer.
ma'am. Limited lang naman kasi yung ano tawag dito, yung kayang ibaba ng temperature ng mga ordinary freezer.
Yes.
At saka yung texture niya, iba na, di ba?
Oo, mag-iiba,
Oo,
pero
iba na.
magso-solidify pa rin siya. Yung
Oo.
texture niya.
Yung talagang freezer talaga. Okay.
Di ba sa mga, ano ma'am, sa mga store, iba kasi yung gamit nila, yung malapad, parang rectangle, gano'n.
Pero kung yung freezer sa
talaga.
refrigerator, hindi gaano, lalo na kung luma na ang ref.
Yes.
Kasi yun yung mga ginagamit ng mga nag-e-export at saka nag-i-import. Yan.
Okay.
Okay, so that is all about melting. So nakita nyo yung difference ng solidification and melting. Now, Sir Hector, can you give me another example of melting?
Yes. So we have the ice cube. Hindi na siya mukhang ice cube, hindi na siya ano.
Kaya nga siya, ice cube melts na siya. Kasi kanina, ice cube nung nasa solid phase. Now, ice cube melts. Okay, so bago tayo mag-move on sa next two phases of phase changes
Parang may
of
hugot si
matter.
Ma'am Rosella, no? Let's move on.
May emphasis pa dun sa move.
Okay. O sige, ano muna yung napansin mo, sir, sa dalawang diniscuss natin, sa freezing and melting?
Ang freezing and melting, ma'am, ay reversible.
Yes, exactly.
Kabaliktaran.
Okay, yan yung perfect picture para sa definition ng melting and freezing. They are reversible process. Ibig sabihin, yung na-melt, pwede ulit i-freeze or isolidify. At yung na-solidify, pwede ulit i-melt. So, they are reversible. At ang may malaking role dito para mag-iba sila ng phase changes ay yung temperature. Okay. Okay, so now, let's give time to our learners. This is your time to shine. So, tignan natin kung naintindihan nyo talaga ang solidification and melting. So, ang gagawin natin ay, we are going to show picture, then you will identify if it is solidification or melting. So, comment down your answer.
So, i-identify nila yung phase
Picture,
change na
yes.
na-occur.
Yes,
so, pakita
sir.
nating picture. Okay, picture, go, go, go.
Ayan, lava hardening. So, ano kaya yan? Anong phase change yan? Is it solidification or melting?
From the word hardening.
So, comment down, our dear learners.
Hardening.
Okay, may nakasagot. Cassandra Javier ng 8 Copernicus, solidification. Aslin Timotyo, solidification. TJ Antolin, solidification. Jami Mel Lamog, solidification. Geraldine Domingo, melting. Sweet Cell Arenzana, solidification. Arian Carnate, solidification. Okay, Jenica Bernardo, solidification. Nora Rosete, solidification. So, marami pa ang sagot nila ay solidification. What's the correct answer, Ma'am Rosel?
Okay, so, ayan, congratulations sa ating mga learners. So, talagang naintindihan nila yung ating first two phase changes. So, ang tamang sagot ay solidification.
Pinagtangkin, tilaba.
Okay.
Siyempre, mainit sa loob ng ano, di ba? Pag lumabas na.
Pag lumabas na, ayan, nagsusolidify na siya.
Yes.
Or,
because nag-absorb na,
Tirong martumangke.
nag-lose siya ng thermal energy.
In terms of lava yan.
Yes.
Pag nasa loob, liquid form siya.
Yeah.
Then paglabas, kasi mas mababa yung temperature dito sa labas, so solidify na siya.
okay, so, ayan, clear na clear ang ating solidification and melting. This time, Ma'am Rio and Ma'am Lynn will explain to us evaporation and condensation.
Okay, so thanks, Ma'am Rosel. Oh, Ma'am Rio, it's our turn naman.
Yes.
Okay. So, let us now show the next picture, Sir Ryan, para ma-discuss naman namin. Okay, so you have there a picture of a pot in a stove. Pot lang naman, wala sa stove, Ma'am Rosel.
Next picture, Sir Ryan.
Sir Ryan.
Sir Ryan.
Next picture.
Kailangan yung naka-ano siya. Yan.
Ay, first
Okay.
step pa lang pala yun, Ma'am Lee.
Ay, in-ready yung kasirola,
Ready
nilagyan
pala.
ng tubig. So, naisa lang na ngayon sa stove. Okay. So, what do you think will happen if we will open the stove and add heat energy? So, there, kumukulo na, di ba? Okay. So, can you explain what happened, Ma'am Rio? Ano ba nangyayari dyan?
So, Ma'am Lynn, a while ago, the water is in liquid state, di ba?
Yes.
Oo, yung unang picture kanina. But when we place it in the stove, syempre, we added heat. So, some of it turns into gas, it boils or it vaporizes, and that is what we call evaporation. So, the heat from the stove helps the water evaporate and return to the atmosphere. Okay, so nung kumulo, yung nag-vaporize na siya, bumalik sa atmosphere natin.
Nag-escape.
Yes,
Nag-evaporate.
opo. So the evaporation is the process by which an element or compound changes from its liquid state to its gaseous state. Evaporation happens when a liquid turns into gas. Okay? Liquid to gas.
Yes.
In a microscopic view of evaporation,
Wow, may microscopic ka pa dyan, ha?
view pa ako. So when a liquid is heated sufficiently, the forces of attraction between molecules do not prevent them from moving apart. So, therefore, mabilis yung movement or vibration and the liquid evaporates to gas.
Okay, so yes. Talagang nag-research si Ma'am Ria.
Yes.
And if we are boiling water, pag tayo ay nagpakulo na, so yung talagang kumukulo na, especially kapag ang ginamit natin yung whistling kettle, di ba, umuhuni yan?
Oo, naka-reach
Okay,
na siya ng
yes.
maliit.
So, may kakakita tayo yung singaw or what we call the steam.
Yes.
Okay, so because of this, some of the water turn already into gas. And when it turn into gas or steam, the temperature will also increase. So that is why, my dear learners, makinig mabuti, mas masakit ang paso ng steam. Ikumpara natin din sa basta kumukulong tubig, no? Okay, so because yan mas mataas ang kanyang temperature. And be careful mga learners pag nagpapakulo tayo ng tubig, konting ingat at sa pagbuhat ng ating mga whistling kettle o anuman yung pakukuluan ng tubig ay gumamit ng mga yung anong tawag doon, yung sinusot dito na parang gloves, yung mitten at saka yung mga pot holder at iwasang matapat ang ating kamay doon sa may singawan. Or, for example, in that case, yung kasirola na kumukulo, pag may cover yan. Pag inalis mo yung cover, kasi ugali natin pag nagluluto, sinisilip, huwag ilalapit yung mukha. Kasi yung singaw na yan, mas mainit, mas mababurn yung ating face. So, ingat-ingat mga learners. Okay.
Ma'am Lynn, di ba ngayon, usong-uso yung, di ba dahil sa COVID natin, COVID pandemic. So, yung steam, yung ano na yung
Suob.
ayun, mag-Ilocano, di ba? Uso yung magsuob. So, ang ginagawa kasi natin doon is, ganun din, yung mainit na tubig.
Pero, don't masyadong ilapit ang face. So, may distance. Kasi kukulubin naman yun.
Yes,
para yung
exactly.
singaw malanghap din. Huwag ilalapit yung face doon sa mismong mouth nung kaserola or kung ano man yung ginamit. Ha?
Yes,
okay, so be careful, my dear learners.
Yun yung example, perfect example ngayon, napapanahon.
Yes.
Na yung pagsuob or pag-steam natin. So, yes, it is good, di ba ma'am? Pero, kailangan may distance pa rin yun kasi yung steam nga.
But actually, ma'am, kahit hindi pa panahon ng, wala pang pandemic ngayon, ginagawa na yung suob na yan noon.
Talaga?
Yung mga
Yes.
ma'am, yung mga nanganak?
Hindi din yan. Maski yung may mga sipon nun, may ubo, yung lalo yung sipon na hindi makalabas, sabi nila, sinusuob na rin nun kahit hindi pa panahon ng, hindi pa pandemic. Okay. So, yan.
Ayan. So, ang daming mga examples na naibigay ng ating mga science teachers. Ma'am Lynn, can you give more examples?
Yung ginagawa natin tuwing Saturday, the Laba Day. So, yan. Pag naglalaba tayo, di ba, pag masikat ang araw, ang bilis nating makatuyo ng damit.
Pero parang ngayon si Mr. Sun, Ma'am Lynn?
Pero at least kahit na hindi masikat ang araw, kung may hangin, so nakakatulong para mag-evaporate yung mga tubig sa ating labahan. Yan. So, drying of clothes or sa sinampay natin. So, that is one example.
That's right, Ma'am Lynn. So, did you know, dear learners, that evaporation supports the replenishment of freshwater sources all over the planet? Oh, may pa-did you know
pa-trivia ka pa, ha?
So, the sun powers the evaporation process on Earth via solar energy.
Okay.
Tama ba ako, Ma'am Lynn?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how about condensation? So, tapos na tayo sa evaporation.
Yes.
Let us see the next picture, Sir Ryan. Picture, go!
So, yan. Ano ba yan? So, you have there the fog.
Uy! Parang familiar yan, Ma'am Lynn. Kaninang umaga ata.
Yes. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Rosel, ang hirap niya nag-drive.
Yes, ma'am. Ang hirap talaga mag-drive kanina.
Ma'am Rosel and you, Ma'am Mario, na nagto-travel every morning, ingat-ingat sa biyahe. And of course, mga learners, sabihin sa ating mga magulang, pag ganyan, so mag-ingat.
Zero visibility kaninang umaga Kung wala ng ilaw yung hindi mo na
makakasalubong or ikaw. So, kailangan.
Ano ba yan, Ma'am Lynn?
Okay, so that is, so the fog shows up when water vapor or water in its gaseous form condenses. Okay, so when we say condensation, that is the change of the state of matter from the gas phase into the liquid phase. And that is the reverse of yung na-discuss natin kanina. So the vaporization. And also, hindi lang ikaw, Ma'am Rio. According to National Geographic, condensation is the process where water vapor in the air becomes a liquid. It can happen in one of two ways. So for condensation to form, water vapor is either cooled to its dew point. So which is the temperature at which water in the air condenses or create water droplets. Or the air becomes so saturated with water vapor that it can hold any more water. Okay? So, condensation, so just sa atin sa screen, my dear learners, that is the change of the physical state of matter from the gas phase into the liquid phase. And it is the reverse of vaporization.
Okay, therefore, Ma'am Lynn, condensation is the process where water vapor becomes liquid.
Yes.
So, di ba, may sinasabi ang matatanda, kapag nakakita ka ng hamog sa umaga, aaraw.
Yes.
Tama ba yun, Ma'am Lynn? Yun yung sinasabi, ano?
Kanina. Ngayon, Sir Ryan, pakitignan nga, pakisilip kung maaraw ngayon kasi hindi natin nakikita. Correct daw, Ma'am Rio.
Maaraw daw, Ma'am Lynn.
Yes, saka maraming beses ko na rin napatunayan din yan.
Kasi, di ba, condensation, yung cool air nakaka-receive or nag-add or nag-gain ng energy from the or any source of heat. So, sa sun, so therefore, yung water vapor kanina nag-condense into fog. Ayan. So, just like example, Ma'am Lynn, having a cold soda on a hot day, di ba? Nagsisweat. Yung sabi nila, sweat yung bottle. So, bakit nga ba siya nagsisweat? So, condensation forms, okay, as the gas surrounding that bottle, cold nga yan, di ba? Now, the gas surrounding that bottle is, once na nag-cool down siya, it loses heat. Okay? Now, once it loses heat, the particles that make up the gas move more slowly. That allows the attractive forces among them to increase, causing droplets of liquid to form. So, ayun ma'am. So, yung warm air that surrounds that cold soda condenses. So, naging droplets.
Okay. So, kanina din, yung pagpasok natin dito, nakaupo ako dito na mga ilang minuto, nagkaroon na rin ng condensation dito sa aking eyeglasses kasi malamig dito. Diba? Okay, so thank you, ma'am. So this time, let us give this moment to our learners. So we will show pictures and you will identify if it is evaporation or condensation. Okay, so yes. So see during summer days. Okay, our dear learners, pwede kayong tumawag sa messenger, sa 09, also you can call to 0997 549 7449. Ulitin ko, 0997-549-7449. Or pwedeng mag-comment. So, ano yan? Picture natin. Okay, pakitingnan sa ating mga cellphone.
Ano yan? Ay, marami akong nakikitang pumupunta dyan ngayon sa aking newsfeed. Sa newsfeed.
Saan mapapasana all na lang tayo.
Yes.
Okay, so habang wala pang tumatawag, Ma'am Lynn, may tumawag na ba? Kanina
Wala pa.
phone yun.
Kay Ma'am Rio.
Yan. Okay, so habang wala pang tumatawag, meron dito, nag-comment na si Nora Rosete. Sabi niya, evaporation. Kim Castillo, evaporation. So, almost lahat evaporation.
Okay, so, ano ba ang sagot natin?
Ano ba ang tamang sagot?
Okay, so that is evaporation. Okay, bakit kaya evaporation?
Sir Ryan, ayan. So, dun sa isa pa.
Yung sa evaporation, yan.
Yung may sun.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Okay, so yan. Okay, so
siguro during summer days.
Okay, so yan. So, kasi dyan, when warmed by the sun, water on the surface of ocean and fresh water bodies evaporates, forming a vapor. So water vapor rises into the atmosphere where it condenses, forming clouds. Then it falls back to the ground as precipitation.
Okay, therefore, Ma'am Lynn, itong dalawang phase changes na to, evaporation and condensation, plays a role sa ating water cycle.
Yes.
So, without these phase changes, wala tayong water cycle.
Yes.
So, yun yung importance
niya. Yes, mag-evaporate
niya.
yung tubig, then mag-form ng cloud, mako-condense, and then magbabalik siya as precipitation, babalik ulit sa bodies of water, and then mauulikan. That's a cycle lang.
So
Kaya nga
dito,
water cycle.
Yes.
okay, dito sa evaporation and condensation, napakalaking ano talaga ang heat energy. Yung temperature changes. Ayun.
Okay, so that evaporation and condensation, that is also
Reversible.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll have more of this. Let's have Ma'am Rosel and Sir Hector to discuss with us about sublimation and deposition.
Yes, Ma'am Rio.
Okay, so thank you sa inyo Ma'am Rio and Ma'am Lynn. So tapos na, nakaapat na tayo. Solidification, melting, evaporation, and condensation. Now let's have the last two. So we have sublimation and deposition naman. So again, i-explain na naman natin to sa pamamagitan ng mga pictures para ma-visualize ng ating mga learners. So, parang familiar. Wait lang po. Ayan. So, parang familiar yung nasa screen natin. Nakakain ba yan, Sir Hector?
Sa tingin ko, hindi. Kasi yung pangalan niya palang mothballs.
Okay. Pero kapag tinignan mo lang, no, yung isang side, yung white lang.
Bilog lang na ganyan. Okay. Parang nakakain.
Parang ano yung candy?
Oo, parang candy.
Parang Mentos.
Mentos.
Di ba may candy labos noon?
Saka yung Mentos ngayon.
Meron ganun, sir?
Hindi, meron talaga yun. Kasi hindi nyo naabutan, pero nung kami yung mga elementary tayo, sir, di ba? Merong ganun talaga.
Yung walang wrapper talaga?
Yes. Kaya yun ang tawag.
Okay, so sa ating mga learners, kung nakikita nyo yan, or still, meron pa rin ma'am, may mga ganyan pa rin ngayon.
Meron pa rin.
Yes, Ma'am Rosal, nakikita ko nga yan, Ma'am Rosal, na linalagay sa cabinet. Yan yung ginagamit ng lola ko noon na pantaboy ng mga insekto kagaya ng cockroaches. Yan. And then, after several days, ba't siya nawawala? Siguro tinangay ng daga.
Is that the reason? Yun ba yung tamang reason? So, sa ating mga learners, balik muna natin.
Baka kinain niya.
Baka kinain ng cockroaches, kaya?
So, ngayon i-explain natin kung bakit nawala.
Yes, sir. So, exactly. So, yan naman yung tinatawag natin ngayon. Parang ang hirap paniwalaan, pero actually, may ganito. From solid phase, biglang nawawala kasi nag-turn siya into gas phase. And that is what we call sublimation. So when we say sublimation, that is the transition of a substance directly from solid to the gas state without passing the liquid state. So imagine that, learner. So parang kapag nilagay mo yon yung mothball sa cabinet ninyo, after siguro hindi naman days, mga weeks ganon, bigla na lang mawawala pero may maaamoy kayo. Parang hindi maganda yung amoy.
So that is also the reason kung bakit yung cabinet natin ay nangangamoy mothball. That is because from solid, it turns directly into gas state, yung mothball.
Yes, so that is possible, learners, from solid directly to gas state.
Parang sa relasyon ba yan, Ma'am Rosel, yung na-ghost?
Oo nga, yung sa relasyon, yung nandyan siya pagkatapos biglang nawala.
Oo.
Nag-sublime, so yun yung dapat na gamitin nilang term. Nag-sublime na siya.
May opposite.
Pero sana may ganito, may opposite, din siya, reversible. So we have, ayan, so i-explain naman to ni Ma'am Lynn and Ma'am Rio, deposition.
Okay, so sabi niya yung babalik o deposition. So yun din sa relationship, kung nag-sublime, magkakaroon din ng deposition, yun yung ang pagbabalik. Naman yun, di ba?
Ano yun, ma'am? Na-realize niya na?
Siguro.
Siguro nung pag-uwi niya, nauntog siya. Maalala niyo, nakalimutan pala ako.
Yes. Okay, so let's discuss the last phase change, that is the deposition. So kindly show the picture, Sir Ryan.
Sir Ryan!
Nag-enjoy ba siya? Nag-enjoy siya doon. Okay, so you have there. Ano ba yan nasa picture natin? Ma'am Rio, ano ba ito?
Okay, so parang sa ibang bansa yan, ma'am?
Ay, hindi lang sa ibang bansa. Nangyayari yan sa Benguet.
Yung mga plants kasi, ma'am, hindi siya, familiar.
Oo.
Okay, so, this time, tinatawag po yung deposition. But deposition has many meanings or different meanings. Today, we are talking about deposition in chemistry. Okay.
Scientifically, yes.
Yes,
Andap
chemistry.
yan sa Benguet niya, yung pumipili
Oo.
sa
So yan is a frost. Okay, frost in plants. Frost is the deposition of water vapor from humid air or air containing water vapor onto a solid surface. So deposition is a thermodynamic process. The reverse of deposition is sublimation, yung kanina. And hence, sometimes, deposition is called desublimation. Another example pa po ng deposition is a snow. Okay? Pero hindi natin yan experience. The water vapor in the clouds changes directly to ice and skips the liquid phase entirely.
Okay, so, yan, balik tayo. No? Nangyari yan sa Benguet. Kailan ba nangyari? Di ba? Nasira yung mga pananim, yung strawberry, yung mga cabbages nila because of this. Andak ba ito, sir?
Yes,
ang tawag dyan?
So, Ma'am Lynn, according to Philippine history, ano?
Ay, talaga, nag-research din.
Parang kanta yun, di ba may kanta? Okay, so nung December 8, 2021, last year lang yun. So, bumaba siya 10 to 6 degrees Celsius. So, sabi ng mga farmers daw nun, ma'am, according to their Daily Inquirer sa kanilang news, is nasasanay na daw sila sa ganong situation. Every December or January, laging ganon. Nakakasira talaga yon ng mga plants. That is why farmers are now getting... Farmers said they adapted already to that cold weather. So parang kumbaga pinaghahandaan na nila. And they develop strategies to cope with cooler temperature. So sabi pa nung isang na-interview, ma'am, kahit daw mag-drop ng 3 degrees Celsius, ready na daw sila.
Kasi naging part na kasi ng life cycle nila yan. Every year yan na nagaganyan sila. Sanay.
So, pwedeng...
Yes, sanayan lang yan, Ma'am Rosel and Ma'am Rio.
Pwedeng magbalik deposition kapag naka-adapt na.
Yes.
Pero ang cold na. Pag bumalik, ang cold na.
Okay, so, yes. Okay, so take note, learners. So it is possible for a solid to be converted directly to gas without passing the liquid state. And that is the process of sublimation. So on the other hand, it is also possible to convert gas state directly to solid without passing the liquid states. And that is what we call deposition.
Sir Ryan, next. Ayan. So, you are correct, Ma'am Lynn. This time, by the way, ito yung ating figure. So, reversible, okay?
Yes.
Reversible ang sublimation and deposition. So, this time, our dear learners will identify if it shows sublimation or condensation. So, please comment your answer in the comment box. Picture, go! Sir Ryan! Ayan! Ano ba yan? Albatros!
Saan ba makikita yan? Saan parte ng bahay?
Sa kwarto
Sa kwarto ba?
Sa kotse mo, nakikita ko may ganyan na.
Okay!
Low maintenance lang tayo.
Iba naman yung nasa kotse, Sir Hector. Mga ano yun? Yan, nakikita natin sa ating mga CR.
Sa CR yan.
Sa CR natin. That's the albatros.
Sir, yung nakita mo sa kotse ni Ma'am Rosel, ano yun?
Ay, may mga sumagot na.
Uy, meron na.
Yes, so we have from Gerson Marinay, sublimation. Sweetel Arensana, sublimation. Missy Galang, sublimation. Aslin Timocho, sublimation. Asli Timocho, sublimation. Kit Magaway, sublimation. Gerson Santiago, sublimation. Nora Rosete, sublimation. Jenica Bernardo, sublimation.
Wow.
Maria Agonoy, sublimation. Cassandra Javier, sublimation. Carla Galapon ng 8 Crimson, walang sagot. Agata Mauricio, sublimation. Okay, lahat.
Lahat sila, ano ma'am?
Okay, sublimation.
Okay, para naman, mahaba pa ang oras natin, our dear learners. I would like you to explain bakit sublimation. Ano bang nangyayari dyan sa albatros na yan?
Yes,
After some time.
Kung sino yung makaka-explain kung bakit ay may premyo kay Ma'am Rosel.
Yeah.
So, pwede nyong i-comment, pwede kayong tumawag through messenger, pwede rin, di ba? Baka wala
Yes,
silang
pwede sa
load.
messenger namin, mga teachers ninyo.
You may call our messenger.
Ma'am Rosel, ano bang prize?
Okay, magbibigay ako ng 100 peso
Wow!
upload.
So, bakit sublimation yan?
Kasi mag-explain sila, ma'am eh.
I-explain lang nila why albatros is an example of sublimation.
Ibig sabihin, ma'am, from solid
Ay, may sumugot.
nagiging gas na siya.
Sino
Yes,
yan?
directly
May
to gas.
kaugnayan ba yung ibon dyan, ma'am?
Sinong may nakita? Aslin.
Wait lang, may tanong si Sir Hector. May comment na ba, ma'am?
Meron na po.
Ay, meron na.
Aslin Timoteo, pakibasa, ma'am.
Aslin Timoteo of 8 SPJ because it turns into gas without passing the liquid state.
Oh,
Yes, meron pa si Asli naman. Naku, nagko-contest sila.
Yung kakambal.
Asli. Kanina si Aslin, ngayon si Asli naman.
Because solid turned into gas without passing through the liquid state. Okay, so tama ba, Ma'am Rosel? Total, ikaw ang magpapapremyo. Tama ba yung answers nila?
Ilan na yun?
Oh, mas...
Ilan yan?
Oh, ito pa, oh.
Ito yung 100.
Si Timbresa Alexander.
Hindi, isa lang naman yung nauna lang, no?
Albatros person.
Okay,
Nag-iiba yata yung isip
Ganun
ko
din
yun,
from
ma'am.
solid direct to gas without passing through liquid. Oh, so Ma'am Rosel, ikaw ang magdesisyon.
Parang nag-sublime na yung decision.
Nag-sublime ka? Ibalik mo.
Nawala. Okay, so...
Maraming nakakasagot, nag-sublender yung isip niya. Parang...
Pwede namang mag-deposition. Reversible yan.
Sige, i-reversible natin siya. Okay, so gusto ko lang i-appreciate yung ating mga learners, ma'am, kasi simula kaninang solidification pa lang hanggang sa evaporation, tas dito sa sublimation, lahat ng mga answers nila sa comment section, lahat tama. Di ba, ma'am? Yung pagko-comment. And then ngayon, nag-explain pa talaga sila. So,
Gusto ko
worth it yan. Yung 100 pesos, wala lang yan. Worth it yan.
Pero Ma'am Rosel, gusto ko lang din basahin yung comment, yung sagot ni Sarah May Berrioso.
Yes,
ng
ma'am.
8 Aristotle. Sublimation, because albatross is a solid, then it became smaller and changed into a gas.
Wow, detailed.
Yan.
Oh, yung natitira na lang dyan is yung plastic wrapper niya.
Oo.
Diba? After how many weeks?
Si Nora Rosete ng 8 Aristotle. Sublimation because is a change of phase in which solid turns into a gas without passing the liquid phase. Wow, yan. Yun, talagang nabasa na nila ang kanilang mga learning activity sheet for this week at nakinig silang mabuti sa RBI. And speaking of our RBI, our dear learners, kung narinig ninyo, may good afternoon. Kasi yung mga RBI namin ngayon, ay yun yung RBI namin, yung pang third quarter and fourth quarter, ito yung mga RBI namin last year. Wherein, ang Science 8 nun ay sa hapon, 3 o'clock ang schedule natin nun. Kaya mapapakinggan ninyo mayroong afternoon, ha? Okay, baka may nagkamali sila, bakit afternoon morning naman? So, yun mga anak.
So, ayan, congratulations to all our dear learners, especially sa mga nag-explain kung bakit ang albatros goes through a process called sublimation. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you to our learners who participated and still participating. 45,000 viewers.
47 sa akin.
Ay, plus 2 via FB Live.
Okay,
Ma'am
so,
Rosel?
pero...
Parang ang ganda ng Monday morning ngayon, ma'am? Ang active ng mga
Kasi di ba may kasabihan na kailangan itong week na ito, yung first day, talagang full of energy dapat.
Positive
Dapat-
vibes.
Yes, amazing dapat ang araw natin para hanggang Friday ay ganon.
Even next week, ganito na naman kasaya to.
Yes.
Lot of activities na naman ang nakalaan sa inyo next week.
Yes. And also, gusto ko mag-remind, this week, wala tayong performance task mga anak kasi nabigyan namin kayo last week ng performance task na-explain na ng inyong mga science teacher sa inyong mga group chat. Pakibasa doon sa mga hindi pa nagsisin sa inyong mga GC. So, hindi namin kayo bibigyan ngayon para meron pa kayong time. Kasi baka mahirapan naman kayo. So, we love you learners, kaya isa lang muna. So, sa third week na lang tayo uli magbibigay.
Make sure lang na sagutan lahat ng activities sa inyong learning activity sheet.
And even yung mga reflection, kung doon sa inyong mga learning activity sheets merong doon reflection, bigay ang inyong mga reflection. Pag sinabi natin sa reflection naman is kung ano yung natutunan nila about that topic. Okay? Also, yung mga validating questions, don't forget to answer.
Yes, and then next week also, i-introduce ko sa kanila yung bagong paraan ng pagde-deliver ng lesson, yung paggamit nila ng class point.
Yes, so paghandaan nila.
Excited ito kung interesado kayong malaman all about the class point. Pwede nyo i-search na yan and then I hope na mag-e-enjoy kayo sa pakikipag-participate next week. Kasi yan yung gagamitin.
Ida-download ba nila yan, sir?
Isa siyang app, ibibigay lang sa kanila yung class code.
Okay.
Basta ang importante lang dito, mayroon kang internet connection. Okay.
Na stable.
Stable internet connection. Yun lang, mag-e-enjoy kayo.
Okay, so this time, let's recap kung
Yes,
ano yung
ma'am.
mga napag-aralan this morning.
Let's
Ma'am
have
Rosel, you may start.
Let's have the summary, ma'am. So, yung mga 6 na na-discuss natin, yung mga yan, nakikita nyo sa screen, they are all the phase changes. And they are actually under physical change. So, lagi nating tatandaan na kapag sinabing physical change, the form of matter may change but not its identity. So, the arrangement of particles may change but the mass, the number of atoms, and the number of molecules stays the same. And furthermore, physical change involves small changes in energy and are easily reversible. Kaya yung mga diniscuss natin kanina, tagdadalawa kasi they are reversible. Okay, so ano naman yung mga, parang isa-summarize na natin ngayon, Sir Hector, ano yung mga 6 na phase changes?
Yes, to summarize what we discussed, we have here an illustration. A triangle that shows all phases. So we have here freezing, melting, evaporation, condensation, sublimation, and deposition, ma'am. Freezing is the change that occurs when a liquid changes into a solid as the temperature decreases, while melting is the opposite change from a solid to a liquid as the temperature increases.
Okay, so yes.
Yes, ma'am Lynn.
Okay, so evaporation naman, matter changes from a liquid to a gas. While in condensation, matter changes from a gas to a liquid. So some substances have its transition from a solid to a gas and skip the liquid phase entirely at standard conditions. So this change from a solid to a gas is called sublimation. So the reverse process of a gas going to a solid is known as deposition.
Okay, so let me leave you a quote before we end. Your uniqueness is your identity. So don't lose it. Parang yung mga pinag-aralan natin kanina, no? Hindi nag-change yung identity nila. To be noticed in a crowd, you have to be different from everyone else. Sa inyong napakinggan ang...
May pagganong-ganong pa talaga, ha?
Okay, ang live discussion ng Team 8!
Ocho!
Muli nyo kaming samahan next week para sa panibagong aralin.
Thank you, learners. Thank you, Sir Dennis. Thank you, Sir Jessel. Thank you, Sir Ryan. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, learners.
physics, chemistry, earth science, biology, biochemistry, environmental science. These are some branches of science. Science is about a whole lot more than that. And to sum it up, we believe that science is the way of helping the brain grow in finding new knowledge and help us defeat our curiosity and how the world develops and works today. Science. This is your class, and this is science. And now, here is your host for the day. Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan, ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
For something big.
Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWBR FM.